Hello, my name is Henry Cummings and welcome to Hook Legends. Thanks for joining today's show. Today I want to talk a little bit about PanOptix and PanOptix live scope and how it's changed my fishing. But before we get into that, I just want to say that I plan to grow this channel, and right now I have an immediate goal of 1,000 subscribers. So if you would, please click that subscribe button and like. As I put these videos out, you may learn a couple of tips here and there that might help you become a better fisherman, or at least maybe provide some entertainment for you. So please subscribe and click the like button. First thing I want to say about PanOptix is if you're thinking about picking up one, I mean, I definitely, mine's great. I mean, it's a valuable piece of technology. Make sure you pick the correct one. If I had to do it all over again, I probably would pick a slightly different model. I have the EchoMap 93SV, I believe it is, and the unit's fine, but for what I'm doing, obviously making videos, I wish I had the feature where I could use the active captain to record. Other than that, if you're not going to be doing videos or recording, then that particular model might do just fine for you. So it's just something I wanted to make a note of. That's the only thing that if I was doing it over again, I would probably do a little bit different. I want to start by saying, I want to tell you a quick story on what changed how I fish. One night I was actually about a quarter of a mile out into the lake, and it was dark. Got hung on a log. Took me a little longer than I thought it would to get untied from the log, unhung. By that time, it was a little darker. Lake Talquin is really a flooded forest, okay? And I may put a couple of pictures out here so you can see some areas of Lake Talquin and just how many logs are out here. I've been fishing in this lake since I was probably 8 or 9 years old, very long time, and I really just, I've had pretty good luck. I haven't hit, matter of fact, I've only hit one stump when I was running full speed, and it was a floater. Didn't do any damage. But long story short, I was out fishing. It got dark on me. I could have cranked up, went slightly longer route to follow the river channel to the creek mouth, and the creek channel all the way in. But I said, you know, I kind of want to see what I see coming back to my dock, and had the PanOptix on and just started to cruise. And my fishing buddy and I, we were surprised. We came across a spot that was where the riverbank came in very close to this point. I mean, very close, maybe 20 or 30 feet to land. And they were sand. I know they were sand because I have pictures when the lake was down. And in this particular area, there were literally hundreds, if not thousands, of fish. I mean, it was the biggest cloud of fish that I have ever seen. And this fish was a combination of stripers, crappie, probably a few catfish. The good thing about live scope is that the detail is good enough once you really spend a lot of time with it. And if the boat's standing still to get a crisp image, you can actually determine the species of fish pretty much based on the shape of the fish. So we discovered it, and we confirmed because we put a few in the boat. Unfortunately, it was at night. The video footage did not come out that great of the fish caught that particular night. But I just want to let you know that it's since changed how I fish, because previously, you know, traditional sonar is basically showing you what's in the past, what you've already went over. That's helpful. It's helpful to find structure. It's helpful to know that you're in an area that holds fish. But I do a lot of nighttime fishing, and one of the things that I've learned using PanOptix is that the fish location. If you're looking at the sonar and you're looking at the history you've already ran over, it makes sure the fish sitting down 20 foot directly on the bottom. That's where they are. That's where they were when the boat went over. But since I've night fished now with PanOptix, here's what really happens. I've seen fish down directly on the bottom of the lake, whether it's 20 or 25 foot deep. I mean, just they're there. You can see them swimming around. And previously with traditional sonar, I would have put my bait down on the bottom 20 feet, exactly where they were. And even with PanOptix early on, I did exactly the same thing. And what I found out was I wasn't getting any bites. And then with PanOptix, I stood there and I noticed, I observed, and what I found out was these fish will hang out on the bottom, but then they'll come up as much as 6 to 8 feet to attack these bait balls and immediately go right back down. I mean, I've seen the bait there. I've been dangling the bait and see them leave the bottom, come up, take the bait, and try to go back down. They ended up in the boat, but they tried to go back down. So this is how it's changed my fishing. So because I would see them on the bottom, and I would use my 12-foot rods and drop shot and put it right on the bottom with them. Now I don't do that anymore because I know when they're on the bottom, I'm halfway home. I know now the feeding fish, they're going to look up and they're going to come up and try to grab some bait and then go back down with it. So it's all about location. Previously, I would have, looking at traditional sonar, I would have saw a location of fish and went back to that spot and anchored out. What I've discovered here, specifically in this lake, is the fish really are not, they're just not sitting in one place like that. You know, if you're going back to where you saw them at, you may catch some fish, you may not catch some fish. But the good thing about PanOptix is if you have it on something where you can move it, the fish may be over here. They may move 10, 15 feet over there. And we constantly move that transducer based on a pole that we have set up to point it in different directions. Oh, they're over there now, and you can target the fish. So that's how it has dramatically changed how I fish. And another point I want to make, fishing PanOptix, if you happen to fish at night, you'll notice where they set up at. In other words, we'll have lights around, and the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get microplankton to come into the area. After the microplankton arrives, you're going to then have bait fish come to eat the microplankton. And once the bait fish come to eat the microorganism, then the crappie are going to be in that area. It's key, and you'll get the feel for this. If you have light, whether it's in the water or hovered above, you know, hanging off of your boat or off of your dock for that matter, that light is going to penetrate the water so far depending on the clarity of the water. Could be a couple of feet, clear water could, I don't know, be 20 or 30 feet. But you'll get the feel for it. Right where that light penetration is about to stop and it's getting darker, that's kind of where the crappie kind of set up, is in that area. You know, for a while I was looking at PanOptix at night, and I was like, I just don't understand why there's no fish that keep like this 15-foot barrier out in front of the boat. And it dawned on me, that fish, you could always see the bait fish in that first 10 or 15 feet, but you just rarely saw the big ones in there. But right immediately beyond that, you could see the big fish. And then eventually I figured it out. Where the light penetration stops is where the crappie is going to set up, and other predator fish. They're going to set up out there where it's darker and they can't be as easily seen. And then they're going to come in and out and up from the bottom, and they're going to feed on the bait fish. So I hope you enjoyed some of the video clips of fishing at night. And also, you know, some of the ones that I've seen during the daytime. So once again, I hope you find some useful information in this video. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe and click like, and you don't want to miss any future videos coming up. We're not too far from springtime fishing. I'm out here today just making sure that none of them are already coming into shore. Here in Florida, we're having some crazy weather. I'm hot. It's almost 80 degrees today. It's the middle of January, and it's almost 80 degrees. So the water temperature when I was out a couple of days ago was already at 59 degrees. So these crappie are going to start moving in from some of the depth and coming into some of this shallow water. So once again, hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe so you can see many more of the ones that are going to come. So thank you.